This video we're going to modify our joystick a little bit and make the RGB sensor or the RGB actuator respond to the movement of the joystick. And so we're going to do this kind of action here. If you go down, LED 1 goes red. If I go left, LED 2 goes green. If I go up, LED 3 goes blue. And if I go right, LED 4 goes yellow. Once again, I have everything taped down here so that you can actually see it. Okay, so go over here to the code. Once again, we've installed all the libraries. We've added from the joystick library example, we've added the Arduino H library here, so note that joystick is attached to port 6, LED is attached to port 8. Just as in the joystick example, we have X and Y variables. I also have an LED count, which lets the board know how many LEDs. Set a maximum value. This is the maximum value read that we got from the joystick exercise. It was 981 when I did it for this code. It was 982 when we did it in the video, but it's close enough. And then I did a minimum value, and you'll see why in a minute. Then I created a sensitivity. So this is how close or how far I am to the maximum or minimum value that's going to trigger the LEDs going on. I'm going to do my serial read so I can see what's going on there. And then I created a function called reset LEDs. It just because I'm going to have to call it these blocks more than once. So this introduces functions to the students. So it's a quick function down here at the bottom. Void, name of the function, reset LEDs. The void means the function doesn't return any values. Then I take my LED object, and just as we did in the RGB exercise, I take the LED and I set the color at LED 1, which is actually addressed as 0, to black. 000 RGB is black. And then I do the same thing for LED 2, which is address 1, LED 3, which is address 2, and LED 4, which is address 3. And then don't forget the show. Show actually makes the LEDs change the color you want. Okay, so this little function will cause all LEDs to go black. And so I put that up here so that when I start, everything sets up and all the LEDs are black. Once again, down here I'm reading the X and Y values from the joystick, creating text for the serial output. Then it's just a giant if statement. If the Y value minus the minimum value, which here is 0, is less than 10, it means that the joystick is close to the bottom. As it says here, turn LED 1 red. And so LED 1's address is 0, red is 6400. Keep in mind, for some reason, when they program the make blocks, it's not based on 255, it's based on 64. And then I show the colors, and then I print down in the serial port. Next, as I get close to the maximum Y value, when that value minus Y is less than 10, that means I'm close to the maximum value, and so I'm going to go to the top LED, LED 3, which is address 2, and make it blue, and then so on and so forth. And then I'm also going to print up as the output of the serial port, so on and so forth. Same thing with X. If X gets within 10 of the minimum value, which is 0, the left LED, LED 2 is going to turn green, and then left is going to be printed out. And then if it gets within 10 of the maximum value, and actually this 10 should be changed to sensitivity. In the code that we hand out, I'll change this to sensitivity because that should allow you to adjust how close you should get to the maximum and minimum values to actually have the lights come on. So this needs to be changed to sensitivity. And then if it is LED 4, which is address 3, gets turned to yellow. And that's the color for yellow, all red, all green, no blue. And then if not, then if you're not within these ranges, then the last else down here turns everything off, and it uses the reset LEDs function to turn everything off. And here I've made it wait for put 100 I made it wait for 100 milliseconds so it slows down the output read. So the change that should be made here, which I'll change, is sensitivity needs to be placed. It is to be used here instead of the number 10. Uh, that way, and you can have the students play with raising that number and lowering that number and seeing how sensitive uh, the uh, the joystick is and how little you have to move it or how much you have to move it to actually make the lights turn on and off. So let's look at this again. Let me run the serial port here. And if you see that, what I do the video, down here in the video, if I go down, it says down and the light lights up. If I go left, it says left and the light lights up, up. And we get blue, and right, and we get yellow. So that gives you a good idea how to run this. Trying to keep the video short, so that's it.